All hail a beard, it's your boy Big Beard B, and we back for another edition of Big Beard Business. In today's video, we're discussing one fragrance house that meets all my needs. Now, this one has been a tag video that's been floating around on YouTube, so I decided to hop on it. Now, this fragrance house that I'm discussing today meets a lot of the boxes that I have and requirements for this video, and it also has a few bonuses that's just icing on the cake, so to speak. Now, there are a ton of fragrance houses out there that suit all of my needs, and if you've been around this channel for a while, some that may come to mind quickly are going to be Kilian, Creed, Parfum de Marly, Dior, Tom Ford, Chanel, YSL. You see where I'm going with this. There are a lot of fragrance houses out there that I truly enjoy, have a number of fragrances, and I would recommend on a consistent basis. But today I wanted to talk about a different fragrance house that I don't mention much, but it can check a lot of boxes that I need within the fragrance. This fragrance house that I'm going to be speaking of really focuses on bringing fragrances to market that really are inspired by flowers, herbs. You also have some woods in there as well, and they also are really sustainable organization. So what they do is all their fragrances are free of parabens, they're free of animal testing and animal cruelty, and then their packaging is sustainable, which again is all the extra icing on the cake. And to me, these fragrances really do get better and better as the day goes on. I first came across this house in early 2019, whether it's quarter one or quarter two, it really escapes me, but I received a sample pack from this company and I immediately liked almost all of the fragrances within this sample pack. And the one or two of them that I did not enjoy, I really began to enjoy within this last year. So the fragrance house I'm talking about is Rirana Parfume. Generally speaking, one will need a fragrance for a number of occasions, whether it's going to be something like a date night, a family dinner, clubbing, something for the office, if you're looking for something out and about, just casual wear on the beach, or something more substantial like a formal event or a wedding. This house has it all. So let's hop into it and let me tell you what fragrances I would use in certain situations and why I believe this house has it all. At the time of filming this video, we are in the summer months or approaching the summer months, and I think one of the things that we should look at is a summer fragrance, or at least a fragrance that performs well in these warmer weather days. And I think this house has a few that fall into that lineup, and one of the ones that really get a lot of love from majority of the people within my household is Coconut Nanas. Now, Coconut Nanas, if you're familiar with this channel, my youngest son Dallas really enjoys, and this is one he's like, Dad, spray Coconut Nanas, and he's going in there and grabbing this all the time. I might have to get him his own bottle. I've talked about this one in an official review where I've mentioned like this one has this coconut feel, but it also, to me, although it's not in the name itself, this one has this like banana Laffy Taffy type of feel to it to me. This one gets me compliments, it hops off of the skin, and this one is a good alternative coconut based fragrance if you are looking to really change up that virgin olive water type of vibe. Not saying that this smells anything like it, because it does not, so do not purchase this one thinking it smells like virgin olive water. It's just a good coconut alternative where you can get something a bit different. I think another one that really jumps out to me and stands out as a fragrance that performs well is Salty Citrus. Now, if you're familiar with my other channel, Lifestyles of the Broken Unknown, then you know that I wore this one down to a meet and greet down in Miami in 2019. I was really deciding like, hey, I need a fragrance that's going to smell good, not be one that a lot of people, if you're sitting in a room with a bunch of frag heads, you don't want to wear the same thing, but you also want to stand out, and I decided to go with Salty Citrus. Salty Citrus is a phenomenal scent in my personal opinion. It kind of has this Mediterranean type of feel to it, but again, if you're looking for a fragrance that not a ton of people are going to have, then that's definitely this house is going to be amazing for you. Speaking out loud here, I think one of the markers of a good fragrance house is their ability to really dive into tobacco. Tobacco can be a weird note with an ingredient that some people may not really enjoy. However, I feel like they did They did it just right with this one. The fragrance that they have that is really tobacco based is called Vanilla Tobacco, not to be confused with Tom Ford's Tobacco Vanille. This one is tobacco, it's vanilla, it has cacao in it, and it's fresh, okay? Oftentimes when I think about tobacco-based fragrances, I think of something that's super heavy, only going to perform well in the colder weather. However, this one here is a totally different take. This is vanilla, it's tobacco, and this one is fresh. This one also has some sweetness to it as well, and I think a lot of you will enjoy it if you were able to get your nose on it. This one is totally different than any of the tobacco-based fragrances that really get a lot of love when you think of Herod or you think of tobacco vanille, anything like that. Totally different vibe. This one has almost this uber fresh vibe to it, semi-sweet, jumps off the skin, it's long lasting, and one that I think a lot of people out there will enjoy, Vanilla Tobacco from Rirana. Personally, I think no fragrance collection would be complete without a date night scent or that close encounter fragrance where you have someone coming on over and you want to make a good impression, and this house actually excels in that as well. One of the newer fragrance releases to this collection is going to be Cherry on Top. Now, Cherry on Top is a bit different when you think of cherry-based fragrances. I think one of the ones out there recently, or more recent fragrances that get a ton of love in terms of cherry, is going to be Lost Cherry. This one is really, really different. This one is a gourmand scent, obviously with the name like Cherry on Top, it should be gourmand. This one is sweet, and it's totally different. So it starts off where you get some of that cherry in the beginning, but for me, the true beauty in this fragrance is 30 minutes plus. Beyond that, you're gonna get some of vanilla, you're gonna get something that is almost chocolatey in terms of that as well, and it just has this nice, warm, cozy type of feel to it. So I'll talk more about this one in the official review, but I think this is definitely one that would work for you in a date night. Another one that would work for you on the date night is one that I wasn't truly a fan of when I first got it. I was like, yeah, it smells good, but you know, I'm not really digging it. And this one is wood cereal. All right, so just by the name itself, it sounds edible, but is it? I'm not sure. Now, wood cereal is one of the fragrances that I had to really step back and learn to enjoy. So this may not be the best fragrance for the first date night, but here's the deal. Again, if you go to my other channel, Lifestyle of the Brooklyn, I think I mentioned this where I wasn't like a huge fan of this thing, but it got me a lot of compliments. Like, people were just, yo, you smell amazing. Excuse me, sir, what do you have on? You smell good. The missus enjoy this one. And as I really stepped back and began to smell it a bit more, I'm like, you know what? These people are right. This one does smell amazing. There are a lot of other fragrances that work for date night within this lineup, whether you're going with these or you're going with Honey Amber or Oriental Orchid. All of these fragrances work. Amongst those are the ones that we've already talked about. So a lot of these fragrances, again, all of this entire house is unisex, which means that a woman wouldn't mind wearing these, that it would smell good on a woman. They also have some masculine components to them as well, which means that you're more likely for a woman to enjoy this one on you. At least that's the way I look at it. If this is made with both in mind, then you may get a bit better feedback and reception from these fragrances. So just some of the fragrances that you can use for a date night, you should definitely check them out. If you're looking for a catch-all fragrance, one fragrance that could do it all, let's call it Mr. Versatility, it's going to be Iris Ambrette. Now, Iris Ambrette is, to me, a good alternative to the Dior Homme lineup, okay? This one is going to be woods, this one's going to be musk, it's going to be powdery, and you have that iris note in here, and it's done so different. It doesn't smell like anything from Dior Homme, so you can wear this one, you're going to have some familiarity with it, but it stands out. If you're looking for a fragrance for the office, this will work. If you're looking for a fragrance for a job interview, this one will work. If you're looking for a fragrance for any occasion, pretty much, this one is going to work. Iris Ambrette. This one isn't super heavy, so it's light enough to work in the spring and summer. It has enough depth and dimension, enough oomph, if you will, to really last in the fall and the winter as well. Good, versatile scent from the house, Iris Ambrette. I think another place where some fragrance companies excel and others not so much, it comes down to their oud fragrances. Now, oud in itself can be done extremely wrong, but when done well, it gets a lot of love and good reception. And I feel like this one here, Spices Oud from Rirana, is amazing. Oud, cinnamon, gaiac wood, pink pepper, vetiver. This one isn't uber strong. The oud doesn't just take over this scent. This one still has some nice elements to it that I think really help this one really just develop on skin and be one that people will enjoy. I've walked you through the note breakdown. This one in a short setup: ouds, woods, warm and spicy, everything you need in a scent that is oud based. And if you're not a huge fan of oud, then this is one that you might want to get your nose on to become more familiar and just dive into it, because the oud is not heavy at all. So Oud Spices from Rirana is another one that again just stands out from the house. All right, then if I'm going to end this off, I would end it off with statement makers. If you want to spray something on, like, hey, I am here, I have arrived. Two of the fragrances that you can reach for within this collection is going to be Plum Rose and then also Black Wood. Now, I did a full review on Plum Rose and I gave it a 7 out of 10, and not because I thought it was just average or run of the mill. It had some points knocked off for its total performance. I think this one does smell amazing. This one doesn't last as long, but again, if you're looking to make a statement, this one is between 5 and 7 hours, so it falls slightly under average to me. I feel like 8 and above is kind of where this one should be, but this one is a solid scent. It sits closer to the skin, which I think is something that you would enjoy. Black Wood in itself is another oud based fragrance. This one is woody, it's oud and balsamic. This one is a solid fragrance from the house, along with all these that I talked about as well. I'm a fan of the house. I think you will enjoy it. I don't think the line gets as much love as it could or should, so make sure you get your nose on it. If you're looking to stand out and not smell like everyone else, this is definitely a house you should check out. And as a niche rate, I think most of these fragrances are like $115, $125 or below. So definitely a good place to do. I'm going to leave these linked and listed down below if you want to check them out. I don't get any commissions on these things here, but I do enjoy it. I think that's a house that I wanted to talk about because, again, I talk about Killian a ton. I talk about Parfum de Marly. I've been diving into olfactive studios. I talk about creeds, etc. And a lot of fragrances out there are great. They perform well. I enjoy them. I give you my love for them. But I haven't really gone through this entire house. And this is one of the houses that, again, as soon as I smelled most of these, I think there were 2 of them where I wasn't like in love with immediately, but I began to really enjoy them as this last year has gone on. And I figured that some of you will as well. And again, this will definitely help you not smell like everyone else. A lot of you hit me up and like, yo, I picked up Coconut Nanas. I enjoy it. If you trust in my recommendation there, these fragrances will likely be good for you as well. Again, the newest one in the collection is this one here, Cherry on Top. Again, for me, this one after the first 30 minutes or so is where the true beauty of this fragrance comes out. This one's been in my collection maybe a week and a half or so, but I definitely wanted to bring it to you. So try this one out. If you already got it, let me know what your thoughts and opinions are on this thing. And obviously it's red. The rest of them are just like, they're white, right? So they all look the same. They all look the same with the exception of this one. Like they all look the same. It doesn't matter, all right? So there you have it. As always, I'm your boy, Big B. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Tell a friend that we are back again. And you already know what I need you to do. Just hit the goddamn bell.